Hello guys, Brotherhood of Mars here, giving you an online commentary for a 3v3 31k battle on Rome Civil War. Here's myself, Brotherhood of Mars, also run under the name of Valtrith. I brought the Brutii Romans in this 31k battle, and I've got 12 infantry and a legionary first cohort as my general. I'm not going to rely too much on this unit for combat, but mainly for morale boost. So that's why I'm going to keep 2 urbans in the back just to help it out. I've got 5 Praetorian cavalry, and these cavalry are gold, so they're strong. And I've brought 3 archer auxilia in this battle because we are facing Macedon, and they're probably going to bring a lot of archers. My ally is Argentina Tutmosis. Many of you would know him as Tut, and he's about the Britannia faction. He's got 12 head hurlers. These guys are excellent against armored troops, and those heads that they throw cause a lot of fear. They've got 2 chosen swordsmen, one as his general. Alright, so let's pause the battlefield right here. Got 5 Barbarian Warlord Chariot units. These are the best chariot units in the game, probably better than Scythe Chariots. And Barbarian troops get a bonus in the snow. So this means that these chariots right here, they also get a bonus too. And these guys are really good against cavalry. You see this scythe over here? These scythes are able to cut down cavalry and some infantry to shreds. So he'll be able to destroy anything that comes into contact with it. But against spears, they really are terrible. And he's also brought 1 light chariot unit, one of the best skirmisher units in the game. And they also have these sides, so they're pretty good in combat. Next ally is Julii, very good RPW player. He's got 6 Cretans and he's got 14 Spartans. These Spartans have extremely good specifications, and historically they were really feared on the battlefield, and they're one of the strongest infantry units in the game. So yeah, if he can use them properly, he can get a lot of kills and really damage the team very badly. Oftentimes, in order to counter these guys, you'll need some sort of other spear unit or lots of heavy Roman infantry. So let's just see how the other team will handle this and who they are. Alright, so on the other team is Brotherhood member Legion 22, who's brought the Julii Romans. He's got 6 Praetorian cavalry, what looks to be gold, so your standard cavalry, and he's got 14, what looks to be 14 infantry. This is the average 31k build. Although it's a type of build that usually everybody brings, it's probably one of the most effective builds out there, and people have been using this build for many years now. So it's very effective, and if he can use it properly, he can get himself a lot of kills. In this beginning of the battle, everybody's just running over to the middle so we can meet up and fight the enemy together. Fighting alone is always a bad idea. Alright, so the next teammate on the enemy team is Brotherhood member Exilius. I haven't seen this guy in a while. I'm guessing he's on a break or a leave or something. And here in this battle, which was taken about a year or 2 ago, he's brought the Julii Romans as his faction, and he's got what looks to be 5 archer auxilia, 5 Praetorian cavalry, and 5 Praetorian cavalry, and what looks to be 10 or 11 infantry. I believe it's 10 infantry because 5 to 5 is 10. You get what I mean. Yeah, he looks to have split his army into looks to be 3 sections, or he's gotten them into a straight line. It's effective, but if cavalry decides to all bunch up on this side, he may be in for a rough ride. So he's brought a lot of archers to counter Britannia and the Greek cities. Um, his build is mainly for skirmishing, and as you can see, most of Auxilius's cavalry have a chevron upgrade. So this means that they have 7 upgrades in total. So this means that he's going to be really reliant on skirmishing at this point. And their next teammate is Brotherhood member Spartan Commander. Extremely good RTW player. He's brought the Macedonian faction, and he's brought his anti-Greek army, very old army to say the least. And he's got himself 4 Cretan archers, and he's brought himself 16 pikes. And you kind of look at it from distance, it kind of looks like a big hedgehog or something. Yeah, these Macedonian pikes are not very good against missile fire, especially against the head hurlers and Cretan archers, and archer auxilia alike. So he'll need to use his archers very effectively, and in order to save his pikes, he'll need to take out the enemy archers and possibly take out the Greek cities as soon as possible. So these are the teammates from both the enemy and our team. I hope you enjoy it, and let's see how the battle progresses over time. Alright, so in this beginning exposition of the battle, we're all running our infantry possibly to the middle or somewhere within close proximity. So Tutmosis has brought his light chariots over. He's seen a good opportunity to hit him from the back or to get some missile shots. British light chariots are fast moving and they're pretty good in combat, so these guys are excellent skirmish units. These guys also have a very good missile specification, and on top of that, they're fast moving, so this means that they can avoid combat pretty easily. Alright, so both Lee and Tut's chariots are progressing forward. They're going to be really aggressive here. Lee's firing, Tut is firing, and if you can see right here, you can see these dead Romans over here. So as they're going, they're getting flank shots. So that's 3 kills right there. But it's kind of necessary in a big battle like this because if you run up to the enemy, it's a trap. They want you to come over there. So you're gonna have to take some missile damage in order to reunite with your teammates. And once urbans are at the front, it's really hard to damage them, unless there's maybe hundreds and thousands of arrows, but who really brings that many in a battle like this? With such high money, it's a really big waste to bring so many missiles. Unless it's a skirmish faction like, say, Scythia or Germania or something like that, but then again, those are exceptions to the rule in 31k. Alright, so you can see here everyone's a bit of an archer battle right here. Lee's firing his missiles, shooting at those pikemen and cavalry and those archers. Looks to be 50-50. Spartan Commander is using his royal pikes mainly as a force to take out the Greek cities. Because he's got so many pikes and they're so clubbed together, this not only allows them to fight Greek cities head-on, because the more men you have to fight, the more crazier it gets in the fighting process, but he can also bring in a fear factor, because there is a morale penalty if you see so many enemies. Alright, so one thing about these light chariots are that they're really resistant missile units. You can see all these archers are firing at this Cantabrian circle light chariot unit, but they're really not making much damage. And you can see right here, you know, Spartan Commander's lost, looks to be this unit's got 56. Alright, so as I mentioned before, these Royal Pikemen units are not really very good against missile fire, and you can see the dead trailing right here. And so any sort of long pike unit needs to stay far back. If any sort of danger arises, they can just quickly come in and aid their teammates. So Legion 32's done something smart here. He knows that his men's being fired at from the back and the front, so he's gone into Testudo. This is also a good idea because Greek cities are pike units, so if they go through Testudo units, they'll probably slow them down. So yeah, he's got a good idea on Legion's part. Although against cavalry, these Testudos will really die off quickly. Alright, so I'm advancing my army slowly, Lee's advancing his army slowly. Tut's firing away, and after so many missile troops deployed on this flank, after all of that, Tut's only lost about 2 chariot units. So in chariot units, each chariot accounts for 2 men. So considering how many archers are firing at this unit, he's doing a pretty good job. And then my missiles are firing. If you noticed, I've strayed my cavalry a bit back. This is to not only keep my cavalry units away from missile fire, but the further away you are from the enemy, well, from your army, and you're about to charge in, the more charge bonus you get. So it's a good idea. Well, the bad thing is that the charger, if they happen to charge over here, and they're too quick about it, I actually might lose a lot of men. Alright, so it seems like we're really close. I mean, we're winning the skirmish right here. I'm firing at his cavalry, and you can see this one unit of cavalry is reduced to 36 men. So it's often a good thing to aim at cavalry also, because then again, when the big charge comes in and when everybody's scrambling to get cavalry over, that damaged cavalry unit will often rout, and will often be a big help to you when the cavalry charge comes in. Alright, can you see Lee advancing extremely aggressively over here? So the moment that Lee comes in, Spartan Commander's just going to come in with that Royal Pikeman army, and he's going to counter them back. Although Lee's not engaging, what he's hoping is to draw Spartan Commander back and forth so he can get some shots. Alright, so Auxilius is pulling back because he's lost a bit too much cavalry. You can see here, pile of dead cavalry right here, and our cavalry hasn't even touched Auxilius yet. This is the power of missiles. You know, not only can you take out other enemy archers, but if you have the missile advantage, you can go for infantry, you can go for cavalry, and often in the battle, cavalry can be the turning tide of the battle. So to see this happening is a really good sign. Alright, so Tut is being extremely aggressive here. I think he's going in for a charge right now. And yes, he's going in for a charge. He's going to try and take out these missile units, so we don't have to waste arrows, and so our other archers don't get damaged. So Auxilius is going to countercharge right here. Alright, Tut's gonna pull back. Tut's gonna pull back in the nick of time, but unfortunately one chariot unit got stuck. Alright, so Tut's done a really good job here. He's gone for hit and run tactics. Those some good barbarian tactics right there. Well, any sort of tactic, to be honest. He's gone in for the kill, and he's went out. So he's got that pull-out game in check. Alright, so Tut's just gonna move around the flank. He's gonna annoy the heck out of Legion and Auxilius. Alright, if you can see here, Lee's doing a bit of a flanking motion. I'm gonna try and get Legion to move. One thing I don't like about Testudo is that if anybody tries to outflank you, these Testudos are not mobile, so you're gonna have to come out of Testudo and move, and that kinda takes a while to do. Alright, so can you see Auxilius is chasing down these barbarian warlords? Very good tactic, because if he gets... Okay, not very good tactic actually. Alright, so Tut's gonna charge straight in. Auxilius is isolated, but Tut is gonna pull out because he sees that Legion coming in, and Auxilius has put his cavalry into guard mode. Alright, so Tut once again pulls out. His pull-out game is strong. He's escaping already. Alright, so unfortunately things like this can happen. One missile unit or one chariot unit or cavalry gets stuck. Alright, so Tut is gonna try and get out of there as soon as possible. Alright, so unfortunately he has routed one of them. So I brought my cavalry over to try and help out Tut, but it seems like they've pulled back. Alright, so Tut's going in for a charge. I'm gonna bring my cavalry in, gonna try and snag them and possibly take them out. So Tut's gonna just charge in over here. Tut's gonna charge in, and because of that charge, we just routed most of the enemy units. So I was planning on charging over here, but then I realized that Spartan Commander was bringing in his army. So I decided to wisely pull out, but Tut's done what he's hoping to achieve, and he's taking out the enemy archers as well as damage some enemy cavalry. Not only that, but either that we've managed to draw out Spartan Commander's army. Alright, so in response to Lee's flanking attack, Legion's brought back his units right here. Although, because of this, since Testudos are not mobile, he's forced to keep them as such. Right, so after that, I'm gonna bring my cavalry back. Alright, so the skirmishing is beginning already. I've slightly adjusted my army up forward. Now I'm just throwing missiles, and because of that, joint attack right there. Lee has routed one of the Legion's urbans. So I'm frantically, so I'm just bringing my cavalry back. And after that long skirmish, most of our archers seem to have run out of arrow, or we've just have our units died off. So not a good sign. But then again, the skirmish needed tanks, so. So I've pushed my army up forward. Alright, so one thing I should have done was I should have put this unit either in Testudo or I should have put it in loose formation, because you see how they're throwing projectiles at my unit? Well, over here, I'm losing a lot of men. See, this unit of 82 has just been decimated to 10 units. Had I possibly put that into loose formation, I probably could have saved that whole unit. But then again, the amount of payload that was being thrown was probably equivalent to these 5 units. So then again, it was kind of a win-win for me. Alright, so Tut's brought some of his head harriers over. I brought my cavalry over, and because I did resting and I walked slowly, I was able to keep them fresh and warmed up. So Tut's bringing over his chariot. He's going to do that same tactic again, but he's going to have to be extremely careful because Spartan Commander's pikes are right there. and no matter what sort of pike unit you have, it can easily destroy chariots. Strangely enough, I've seen militia hoplites take out fully upgraded Egyptian chariots, so yeah, these guys are very, very weak against chariots, so. Alright, so as I said in the very beginning of the battle, because there are so many men, they can often cause a fear factor. And so, while seeing this gigantic hedgehog over here, they decide to rout. They don't want any part of that. So, really not much is going on in this battle, except for maybe a few skirmishes here and there. But Putt's really kicking off most of the action with his Barbarian Warlord Chariot units, and really being a big pain to the enemy team. And that's what you have to do in 31K battles, is that you have to irritate the enemy so they draw out, so they do all these stupid mistakes. And Putt's doing a really good job of it. By doing this slowly, he was able to take out most of their archers, damage a lot of Auxilius's cavalry, and on top of that, we were able to draw out Foreign Commander's army, so we could shoot it down, you know? Alright, so Lee is pushing up aggressively. He's just slowly devouring this army. He doesn't want to go too fast and go in all at once, because if he does that, he'll have to fight both the Romans and the Macedonians. And I can't really support his cavalry because, one, we've got a cavalry disadvantage, and on top of that, I can't charge into pikes. There were so many pikes, I'm going to lose all my cavalry. So, Putt is going to move his head hurlers up. Lee is going to push forward just a tad bit aggressively. He's going to keep his aggression in check, so he doesn't interfere, so he doesn't come in the close proximity of Foreign Commander. Alright, so I'm going to move my army up forward. Zelius has no more, okay, he does have Pilo left, I guess he is saving it. And so I'm throwing my Pila, he's throwing his Pila. Right, so Tut is once again facing against Auxilius. Alright, so Tut's gonna go in for the charge. Auxilius is pulling back, so he's gonna charge straight in there. Alright, but Auxilius is in guard mode, and guard mode often is a good way to fight against chariots. Alright, so I'm gonna come in with my cavalry. I'm gonna charge in straight in there. So with this cavalry and my cavalry, we're just gonna hammer straight into this guy. Alright, so because Auxilius was isolated from his allies, I was able to take out his cavalry, and Putt was also able to pitch in as well. So now that Auxilius' cavalry is out of the way, now I can either push in very aggressively, or we can take out archers and do flank attacks. Alright, so right here is a really strange phenomenon right here, and this is called a glitch. So in some battles, units will often spread out like this, and this is a very rare occurrence, or when the games are really laggy, but what happened was that Legion 22 was glitching, and unfortunately it was a general unit. So often what we do is, what we do in VH and other 31K games do is that everyone just pulls back, you know, just to give the other players some space and to allow them to reform, you know, not to get any sort of cheap kills. So Legion has unfortunately glitched out really, really badly. But while in the middle of this glitch, Spartan Commander seems to be using his Royal Pikemen extremely effectively. Alright, so because we have the cavalry advantage here, with my cavalry and Tots cavalry, we were able to rout all these Romans. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my infantry. Tut's gonna fire his head hurlers. We're gonna try and damage and try to take out Tut's. Try to take out Julius's army and that little detachment the Spartan commander's force to try and ease up our pressures over here. So I've rushed up against Julius's units. Alright, so Tut's going in for another charge and boom! Okay, so turning straight for that general. Unfortunately, I think it was a badly timed charge because Spartan commander's not coming in with his army, and they're gonna put down the pikes, and those chariots are gonna drop like flies. Yeah, you see there. Alright, so I went in for the charge as well. We didn't take out the general, but we did cause a lot of damage, and almost got that general. So I'm going to push up with my army. I've surrounded this unit with my urban, and I put my general in the back. Alright, so I'm bringing my cavalry over here. I'm gonna get ready for the biggest charge you'll ever see. Fortunately, two of my urbans also routed simultaneously. So with my charge over here, we're gonna try and rout Exilius's general. This will cause a morale penalty and will help us in the long run. And unfortunately, Legion's charging into our units and really damaging it very badly. So Julius's army has been shattered right here, and because we won this flank, we can now roll them over.
The enemy general is killed. Fear makes a home in our enemies' hearts.
Alright, so head hurlers are firing. Cavalry is coming in from the flanks. Doesn't seem to be looking too good for Legion right here. So Spartan commanders brought some of his Spartans. They're going to go into pike formation, try and take out those chariots with my cavalry. Alright, so because we took out those Testudo units, I'm going to try and do a hammer and anvil with my infantry. Going to surround. Unfortunately, really bad for us, but Spartan commander actually managed to win against Lee and didn't take too much damage. So now he's really gonna push down on us, and he's really going to push his weight down on us, and so this won't be very good for my army. The head hurlers are continuously firing. We need to quickly win this, but there are too many pikes, and I just could not get a decent charge in, so this was a really bad situation. It's gotten so bad that I've forced my general to charge in now because they're facing so many units. Become damaged, and we're at a risk of losing my general. Alright, so with my remnant troops, I'm just gonna charge from the back. Alright, so those head hurlers, since they're in such tight formation, they're gonna cause a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Alright, so I'm gonna try and surround them with archers. Anything I could really pull, really. Alright, so since Spartan commander's not paying attention, I'm gonna charge straight in from the back. Okay, so Legion's cavalry is aiming straight for my general. I need to try and protect that as much as I can. Alright, so unfortunately, Britannia. Okay, so both of our generals just died because of the sheer weight of those Spartans and the remnant troops of both Legion and Exilius. It was just too much for our troops to handle. It would have been nicer if those head hurlers fired a lot faster, but unfortunately I guess it just did not work. Alright, so Spartan Commander's just gonna charge in. He's gonna try and take out those head hurlers. And my urban cohorts are continuously fighting against these guys, trying to slow down their advance, trying to get as much kills, because I know that the battle is over with, but I want to try and get as many kills as I can. Try to take the enemy down with me. I'm going to charge straight back in from the flank, and they're not going to see this. I'm going to get more and more kills. That's a good thing. And so because of the amount of troops that are still left, most of our units are shattered and they're fleeing from the battlefield.
Our enemies are victorious, even after all our efforts.
Alright, so just by looking at the battlefield, you can see how much battle took place, like how insane the battle was. Mainly the action kicked off over here. You can see piles of dead all over the battlefield. You can see loads of archers right here. You can see where those chariots died. You can see where those cavalry died. There's even more over here. This is a very spread out battle, and it has dead everywhere. Honestly, there was a bit of a cavalry skirmish right here. And this is where the main action kicked off. Fortunately, I thought we had that battle when we routed all of Exilius' cavalry, but it seems like Spartan Commander's force and the Legion's remnant forces really did save the day, and there were just too many of the enemy left, really pinned them down. So well played to the enemy team, and I feel like as if we should have prolonged the skirmish a lot longer. Alright, so there's a close defeat. I honestly have to agree so. Good game to Spartan Commander's team. They played really well. Yeah, so they held off until the very last, and yeah, they did very good holding off. I think if we were to win that battle, I honestly thought that we should have let the head hurlers do their work first before we even had the chance, and I thought that I could have used my cavalry a lot better and not charging the pikes. But overall, it was an excellent battle, and when I played this years ago, it was very fun. These were some of the battles I fought with Brotherhood before I was in Brotherhood, so it's good to revisit these battles and to see how things could have gone if I say took a different direction. Or just by analyzing it, you can gain a better understanding of different battles, and when you yourself are in a situation like this, you know how to react. So, good job to both teams. Good game to Lee, good game to Tut, good game to Spartan Commander, Exilius, and Legion. Everyone did really well, and I hope to play with you guys next time. Alright, so the servant cohort unit got 150 kills. It's pretty good. He's getting a promotion. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that battle, and I hope you come back again. See ya!